How's everybody going? This is John Balter with Seamless Solutions, and I have Lisa McCool from Treeno joining us. I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy at home, and we're going to talk today a little bit about how Treeno and document management and remote working can actually help you out and solve some issues that you might be having. Once again, John Balter with Seamless. I'm the Chief Operating Officer over here at Seamless Solutions. So if you don't know our full range of products that we have, oh, sorry, Lisa, you can go to the next slide.
All right, very good, thank you.
Sorry. If you need to know our full range of products, we do complete IT and network services. That includes management of your IT so that we can handle all your remote desktop service on servers, desktops. We do full security sweeps and maintenance on that. We do server hosting, so if you want to get rid of those servers out of your office, put those out in a colo, we can do all that for you. We can put it in a colo. We can actually create VMs for you, and all you pay for is a monthly fee. If you want your own hardware, we can also put that out there. We do hardware sales, both servers and desktops, laptops too. So if you need any of that type of equipment, we are here for you on that. Backup disaster recovery, and then of course all the networking that you could possibly need. Everything from cabling, VPN setups. So if you need to connect from your desktop at home, we can help you set that up. Remote desktop workers. And then VDI is really big right now. We're talking to a lot of customers about setting up virtual desktops so they don't actually have their work computer and their home computer are pretty much the same computer. It's all hosted out on a cloud for them, and they can connect to it and work straight from there. We also do Microsoft training and Microsoft 365. On the other side of the coin, we have our print and copy side. We do full complete service and sales on that. And we handle the Ricoh, HP, and Lexmark lines. And right now we're offering a special for anybody that would like to rent a home desktop machine, either printer, scanner, or a combination machine, for starting at $25. I am going to turn it over to Lisa so that she can talk to us more about the presentation she's got set up for us for today.
Wonderful, thank you, John. So really the goal here was to introduce all the technologies that can make that transition to the remote workforce seamless for you. And the great thing is Seamless is there to do end-to-end support of you in that move to remote workers. What we'll be focusing on as well is the need to have and the importance of secure central storage for your business documents so that you can continue to support your clients in your process as you move to the remote office. One of the things we'll also show or speak to in the presentation today is being able to manage your documents, whether you're in the office or working from home. The next big piece is how do you keep your operations moving seamlessly as you have to route information throughout workers within your organization. And we'll talk to the transparency and the real-time visibility that's available when you leverage a workflow component built into document management. We'll introduce, how do you get started if you want to take a deeper dive into how the solutions can help make your transition to the remote workforce more seamlessly, and we'll take it from there. I would like to highlight, John spoke to all his tools. Their organization has been around for a very long time, supporting local businesses, 31 years of bringing technology and solutions to help address those business challenges that you have today. He already spoke to the office equipment, the document management and workflow aspect, and the big piece is the IT solutions, being able to support you from the desktop to the capture device through the ongoing service and security support that they provide. And they're really dedicated in helping to customize solutions to address your business challenges specifically. So again, I really just want to hone in at, whether or not this document management piece that I'll be talking to, if that's not what you're looking for today, there are so many things that John and his team can do for you to make that transition to mobile workforce seamless for you. One of the things that we've seen out there is that as people have made this transition to move to remote working, some of the biggest challenges is getting access to information they need when they need it. Think about those, in our brick and mortar establishments, when you need to get to a document, you can get up from your desk and you can go to a filing cabinet to pull the file that you need to address your customer or vendor questions that might be happening. That's not the case when you've moved your office remotely. So what we're going to talk to you next is sort of, what are the challenges that we've seen and how can we help you in that process? What we found is that, as the organizations have dispersed to home offices, that it's really hard for the remote worker to get to those documents that are in those filing cabinets. If they happen to grab their files to bring to their home office, there's a lot of risk to the business by doing that. You're opening yourself up to security issues and concerns because nothing is audited. Information can be accessed by other people that shouldn't have access to it. Even though it's in your own home domain, it still presents a security risk for the business. The other challenges we see is that there are sometimes people that are going into the office trying to maintain their physical distancing within the office to help support the back office, but they tend to also, while they're trying to get their job done, whether it's processing payroll or paying bills or helping to take care of HR issues, they are also receiving calls because people in their home offices need access to documents in the system, in the physical office. With that said, that's increasing the administrative costs for business because these people who are in the office are now being the ones that are trying to grab documents, scan them, and distribute those to people in the remote world. One of the other things that we see as a challenge is, again, when you're in your business, in that brick and mortar establishment, as items need to be routed for desk to desk for approval and processing, it's a little bit more easy because you can physically move them when you're in the same facility. The challenge being is it takes time, there's overhead, there's time delays, there's lack of visibility on where those items are if you're tracking those. What you'll see is with a document management solution, how we can provide real-time visibility on those, provide real-time tracking on processing time, and giving visibility all along the way. What we're seeing is organizations that haven't adopted that workflow option, built-in workflow capabilities of a document management solution, is they find that these files are getting stuck in that email abyss, which creates challenge in itself in having timely responses. We'll address version control risks that happen if you are just storing those documents on a network share as a way of sharing those documents. The other challenges, these are outside of the mobile workforce, just, being able to distribute paper is difficult. The threat of items staying in a paper-based format is that over time things degrade, ink fades, paper yellows, and there's a lot of risks with potential fire or water damage, things getting lost, misplaced, or stolen, and it's costly to store and it takes up space. So really my goal here today is just to talk about, as you make this transition to mobile work, the home office environment, and to that mobile workforce, how can we help you? And one of those tools is document management. It's that ability to have access to your business documents regardless of where you are. What you'll see with Treeno, with document management, it's all about central storage. It's about getting those documents in a location where you can access those files anytime, anywhere, from any device. What you'll see with document management is that there's this process that you can scan in documents to a server, or you can electronically upload documents to those servers, and that's where you can come in from any device but be able to have instant access. Gone are the days you have to call for somebody to go find something. You can have access to those documents once you authenticate to the system. And we can help you manage all company documents, whether it's accounts payable, receivable, human resources, client documents for sales, marketing type of files, legal documents like contracts, project management files, whatever your business is, you have documents that are strategic to your business, and we can become that central repository on where you store those documents so that you can access them. So again, imagine that power of having all your documents on a server where whether you're in the office, whether you're working from home, or whether you're traveling, you can get to those documents securely from any device, anytime, with the knowledge that everything is very secure. There is an authentication process which allows us to serve up documents to individuals so that they only see the items that they should see and not have access to anything they shouldn't see. So imagine that John is head of finance and I'm head of HR. I would have access to HR files, John would have access to the financial documents, but we might not see each other's information based on our rights. So know that it's very secure based on your user login, and we audit and track on access and activity so that you can address auditing and security requirements, and as well as providing some more detailed viewing on what's happening within the business. So I'm going to talk about software. We're a document management workflow automation tool. We become that central server location where you can scan your paper documents to, you can upload your electronic documents into the system. What you're going to see as we go through this presentation today is Treeno's really been designed to be intuitive and work the way that you do. And what you'll see is we can mirror a paper-based filing system so it's intuitive and easy to use. And when we do that, it's much like when you need to find something. Today, if I were in that brick and mortar, I would open up the filing cabinet drawer, I would see my manila folders, and I would search on a keyword so I can get to my documents. What you'll see with Treeno is we offer that same look and feel where I have electronic filing cabinets. I open up the drawer, I can be presented with thousands and thousands of folders. Treeno has a quick keyword search capability. I type in a quick keyword and I'm able to get right to the folder I need quickly and easily, and all this happens within seconds. So again, you're enabling your business, whether you're in the office or you're working remotely, to have access to those documents in sub-seconds. And it's not just your documents, your paper documents that have been scanned in. You can store Word documents, Excel documents, PowerPoint presentations, email correspondence, video files, voice files. It can become your central system so that your business can communicate more effectively and have real-time access to the information they need to continue to make great business decisions. We do have a detailed auditing component I had mentioned that helps you address the compliant aspect. And we also have the ability to have documents workflowed throughout the organization. Within Treeno, as those documents are workflowed, we can keep track who has them. You can click on that file to understand exactly who has it, how long's it been there. We have system level reports that give management real-time visibility of everything in motion. So again, this helps companies identify bottlenecks, track performance and responsiveness, and being able to do that process very easily. I would say one of the biggest challenges in being a brick and mortar organization to 100% or 90% mobile workforce is that visibility into productivity. And workflow is a great tool to help you see what's happening and what people are working on and how quickly they're getting to the tasks that they need to have happen. What I'm showing you here is sort of what it would look like to come into the Treeno system. Once a user authenticates and they open up that filing cabinet, here I'm in an accounts payable cabinet. I have a folder for each transaction that I'm storing documents in. And I can just create one file folder for all my vendor files for the St. Louis company, or I can narrow it down right down to the invoice number. You'll see here, if I do a search within this cabinet, once I do a search, and let's just say that I typed in the LSM, oh, I guess I didn't put that in there. I have the ability to search on a particular file, and it's going to allow me to see the just the documents that support that transaction. So again, what you see with Treeno, cabinet, electronic filing cabinets instead of these metal filing cabinets. I open up the system, it opens up the cabinet so that I have my folders. When we set up a cabinet within our system, we have the ability for you to decide what is important for you to be able to name the file folder so that you can search on it. So this example of an HR filing cabinet, I'm capturing more information regarding the employee. It could have been simply an employee folder by last name, first name, or we can have additional attributes. By doing that, again, I can search when I need to get to specific files, search on any one of these key components. And as I do that, in this case, I searched on employee 1234. As I do that, it brings me just to the file folder for that user. And I even have the ability to organize the documents in those folders so that it makes it easier for me to get to information in that file. Here's an example of how I have a new hire pack, background information, benefits, certifications, contracts, performance reviews, and salary documents within this HR record. Now, again, this ability to organize this file folder is not just about ease of use of getting right to the section that you need, but it's also a way for us to set up securities on who within your organization can have access to certain parts of the file. So again, imagine that John's head of HR, imagine I work for John, and I help him with the onboarding. When you set up the system, you could say, you know, Lisa has access to the new hire pack in the benefits section, but shouldn't see things like salary docs and performance reviews. We can set rules and rights on who can see what when they come within the system. And I would say that as we come into the system, when you do click on a particular file folder and we start routing or scrolling on these different images within the file, you'll see that Treeno provides a quick file preview of the documents in there so you can quickly identify which one you need to look at or work with. It's sort of like flipping through the pages of your paper filing system today when you do have multiple files in that location. So again, what I'm really covering here is, you know, this tool allows you as a company to set up your own filing cabinets. You decide how you want to name those file folders so that you can do quick keyword searches to have access to the file you're looking for. And if we open up that file folder, we can organize the documents in the particular sections that you'd like organization. I'm going to go back, continue on and say the next thing that we've seen is the challenge is moving documents throughout the organization for approval or processing. You know, that actually moving that item from desk to desk is today seeming to be pushed through a email process where it's hard to track if it's a 5-step process, who has it, where is it, how do I get my hands on it. So what we've seen is it takes time to route from desk to desk, things get lost, there's no visibility in the items in motion, it's hard to identify if there's bottlenecks, and it's difficult to track the notes in the process. So what we provide with workflow automation is the ability for those documents to securely be stored within Treeno, but notify users when it's their turn to work it and audit and track on everything in the process. So again, imagine I have a document that has a 5-step sign-off process. Any user who has access to that folder can see and identify real time who has it, and they can pick up the phone to help move it along if it's a critical initiative. So Treeno has a couple different ways that we provide access to understanding what's out there for activities. Right now I'm logged in as a specific user. Each one of these line items is an item that has been assigned to me for review and processing. And you can see here we keep track of a lot of information, but if I boil this down, this is just all the activities that my user's responsible for. It timestamps and dates it. It tells me which folder requires my attention. It tells me which cabinet it is, which workflow has been triggered on it, which step of the workflow it's in. So this provides a user's view of exactly where that item is. We can set it up so that for certain steps in the workflow, we can even set up email notifications with links to the file so the user will know how to respond to it. So again, the real value to workflow, real-time triggering, real transparency on where things are, and trackability, understanding how many things are being processed and completed in a given time frame by a given individual. The next piece that we find is pretty exciting is how can we help an organization eliminate paper from the onset when it comes to requests so that information can be automatically flowed into Treeno, an image of it, and for it to route throughout the organization for approval and processing. So think about any of your business documents you have today that you have either internal employees fill out so that it can be routed for approval and processing, or it might even be an external form that you have a client or vendor fill out, which again would come into your organization as paper. What Treeno has is the ability to create PDF fillable forms or web form technology, which would allow a customer or an employee to fill out a documentation, and when they submit it, it automatically files into Treeno, gets labeled by information, and triggers that workflow. So again, think about purchase requests, FMLA forms, personal action forms, time off requests, time card approvals, capital expenditure requests. All these type of documents typically move throughout the office for approval and processing, and after you've handled that, it's a piece of paper that would have been filed somewhere. We can automate that process for you by having real-time filing, real-time labeling, real-time routing, and having all those things happen automatically. With that being said, this is an example of, not that there's a lot of travel expense forms out there today, but this could have been a purchase request where somebody can fill out this PDF fillable form or a web form. Once they've populated that and they hit that submit form, it automatically creates the file folder in Treeno and triggers the appropriate workflow as part of that process. We even have the ability to create dynamic routes. So if you're a larger organization and you want one form to be able to route dynamically based on information populated on the form, we can do that with our dynamic workflow rules. So think of a scenario here where we're working with a school system on travel expense, and based on which school they select in the drop-down list and whether or not it's being budgeted by the athletic department or the music department, we can refer to a table to say, based on this school and this funding source, we know which direction it needs to go. So we can put a lot of intelligence behind these forms so that people don't need to make the decision where it routes to. Your process defines where it routes to as part of the process. So I would say some things that make Treeno different is the fact that we're truly a web application. We have been since our inception 18 years ago. We've actually been serving our solution up in our cloud hosted environment. So we can get you up very quickly. And again, it's all accessed via the browser itself. With that being said, if you prefer not to come up in our cloud, this is great too, because Seamless can help support you and bring you up in your own servers on their cloud. So the couple different options there for you, depending on what makes the most sense. The great thing is in either route, we can either of us can do all the heavy lifting for you. So you don't need to have to buy servers and have to worry about those overhead costs. You know, and the great thing with Treeno is it works the way you need it to work. If you don't want to, if you need a client's cabinet and you want to organize it one way, we can do that. If you're like Mac Hake, who needs to manage all of their car sales or all of their, every time you bring something in for service and they need to be able to manage that, we can do that as well. So we can really define this and set it up to look exactly the way you need it to. And I would say the next thing is the support from both Seamless and Treeno. We've been working hand in hand and helping to address real time what clients have for questions or concerns as they go forward. So what are the steps? How do you move forward if this is something that's interest to you? Is reach out. I'm going to be posting up here a contact for Mark Ward, but reach out. We'll schedule a personalized demo. If you speak to Mark and say, you know, I really have an interest in this area, we'll customize the solution to look and feel the way you need it to based on how you want it to look and feel. Once we've done a demonstration and we've made sure that the solution will perform the way you need it to, then we'll deliver a customized proposal, and then it's easy to implement. You know, once paperwork is signed, if you're coming up in the cloud-hosted environment, we can get you up very quickly because we don't have to stage additional servers or anything like that. It's setting up your database, setting up your cabinets, importing your user list, and you're off and running. I would like to open it up for any questions. If I could have anyone that has a question, either put that in the chat box, that we would be happy to address that. And while I'm looking to see if anyone has any questions, I am posting Mark's contact information. Again, if you would like to have a more personalized consultation, reach out to Mark. We'll schedule a meeting and figure out how we can help you in the process.
And Seamless has put this, I heard Lisa mention Mac Hike. You know, they use it at all of their locations for their car dealerships across the city. And I know that's a well-known name, but we also have trucking companies and other companies that use this for all kinds of HR or tracking information, and it can be used in just about any industry that you have out there. It doesn't have to be one specific vertical. It's so customizable that we can make Treeno exactly what you're looking for and come through with a customized solution just for you.
So there does not seem to be any questions at this point in time, but again, please feel free to take Mark's contact information. Feel free to reach out to him directly. We'd love to support you as you make that move to a mobile work environment. And we're all here to help support you along the way. We definitely thank you for taking time out of your day. We wish you all, hope you all stay well and healthy throughout the days ahead. And again, contact us if there's anything we can do for you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Thanks.
Thanks.